Yes, you can grab a few blankets, cloth, and a belt. Yep, quick release belt. That's good. That's the one. Yep. Seat. Cross legs over the sun, put the hands. Roll the front thighs in. Down the back of the thighs. The buttocks, the pelvic floor. Drawing the sacrum in and up. Press the foot bones down at the front edge. Feel that lift in the central channel as you do so. Release the inner thighs to the inner knees. Keep the hips and thighs rooted down, bring your hands behind you. You can make these teacup hands with your fingers. Bring your hands on the ground and your support, press down and lift the sides of the body up. From the outer hips to the armpits, from that to lean back, keep the shoulders over the hips. And keep releasing the legs down, not to lift the legs up. You take another blanket. Someone is vibrating. Okay. Yeah, or just turn it off. Or if we have a non-vibrating silent mode, that's what I do. Is that you? Yeah. Okay. Back of the armpit to the front of the armpit. Front of the armpit up and right of the shoulder blades down. Bring the shoulder blades on the back. It's the reverse C of the armpit chest. Right, so feel that lift and release the legs down. And maintain the lift of the torso and bring your hands on your thighs. Palm can be up or down, more or less under the shoulders. Draw the chin slightly, lift the base of the skull up off the top of the neck. So the back of the neck becomes long like a swan. Take your gaze down and either close your eyelids mostly or all the way. And observe your breath here for a few moments. Observe the breath in the tips of the nostrils. And then further back into the nasal passages. And slowly at the back of the throat, where the nasal passages meet the throat. And observe the flow of breath in the sinus cavities of the face, forehead, temples, cheeks. Observe the flow of breath as it moves down the windpipe in the throat, down into the chest, and into the lungs, right and left. If you can feel the breath moving into your lungs, and observe where there might be less breath moving, and see if you can create more space there for the breath to invite the breath in. Observe the movement of the diaphragm as you breathe, the big breathing muscle. As you inhale, the diaphragm pushes down about an inch, and the belly expands, the side ribs expand, and then you take it into the thoracic region, all the way to the top chest, the collarbones and sternum lift. And then as you exhale, maintain the lift of the chest. Don't collapse the chest. Just allow the abdomen to receive back. And observe how you're creating space and the breath just comes in. You don't have to suck it in, right? Pause a moment at the top of the inhale before you transition to the exhale, and you just relax in the exhale. It's actually the relaxation part. The diaphragm is at rest up under the rib cage like an open umbrella, pushing the air out. And when you inhale, it's the engagement that pushes down. And then the side ribs, the intercostal muscles, create space in the rib cage. And then there's other muscles that lift the sternum and the collarbones to complete the full yogic three-part breath. So allow this time with the breath to energize you and relax you simultaneously. And to observe the flow of the breath in its subtle aspect of prana as it moves into your arms and legs, hands and feet, toes and fingers. Maintain the firm seat, your asana, your steady, comfortable pose, and the lifted, uplifted, and open chest and torso. Your whole body fills with energy and light, spaciousness. Get in touch with the sense of space in your body rather than solidity. Find that spaciousness. Be more permeable with your environment. We have an opening chant that we will do call and response. We'll do the Om together in the beginning and at the end. So bring your hands to prayer position and bring the base of the thumbs to the bottom of your sternum. And then lift the bottom sternum up to the top. Turn the fingers up and then bring the fingers and thumbs all the way together and press the thumbs firmly, the side of the thumbs into the sternum. And once again, lift the sternum bottom to top. Lift your upper arm bones, roll them back a little, and then sliding the shoulder blades down the back. Connect the outer edge of the upper arm to the outer edge of the shoulder blade. And maintain that firmness of the mid-back core to keep your torso upright. And we'll take a deep breath in and out in preparation to chant Om together. And then inhale deeply for Om. Oh. Pranavatu. Pranavatu. Sahanatu. Saviryam. Saviryam. Just be, just be, Navadinam, Navadinam, Astuma, Astuma, Vidvisham, Vidvisham, Vahi, Vahi, Om. Take a little deeper breath into the heart. And then as you exhale, release your head over forward, chin in towards your chest, and release your hands down to your thighs. Pause here for a few breaths. Soften the front of the throat and draw the trachea, the windpipe, away from the front of the throat towards the back of the neck. And draw the sides of the neck back towards the jawline and the base of the skull. So release the muscles at the back of the neck and the base of the skull. And let the scalp release to the forehead, forehead to the eyebrows, eyebrows to the eyelids. Let the eyes release towards the back of the head. Maintain the lift of the torso, center and sides. As you release the head and curl the chin in towards the clavicular notch between the clavicles. There's a minor chakra called Korma chakra, tortoise. And as you put a little pressure there, you stimulate the withdrawal of the senses. So allow the energy of your brain and your eyes and your other senses to gently descend into your heart center. So draining the energy out of the thinking brain. Then take that into your sensing and feeling body. And have a sense of yourself emanating from your heart center, not just the front, but also the back and the sides. And keep that sense of self there as you inhale and slowly curl up the back of your neck, keeping your eyes closed. Level your ears over your shoulders. And as your eyes are still closed, raise your gaze to level. And keep the eyes closed. And move the eyes to the back of the head and soften and broaden your internal gaze. And keep the gaze looking inward as you allow your eyelids to gently close. And then go ahead and extend your legs, and we'll come to Adho Mukha Virasana. Virasana favorite. So come to the back of the mat and sit on the heels. If you need support on your ankles, shins, and between your hips and heels, you can take it. We won't sit upright very long, we're gonna go into a forward bend, but take whatever you need for support. And your knees are a little bit wide, so you can do the forward bend in between your thighs. Extend the toes back, big toes touch. The buttocks on the heels, and then deflate the left. So there's muscles that are gripping potentially, right? So soften the skin, soften the connective tissue below the skin, and the muscles and the tendons and movements, and let the bones descend, deflate, and compress and decompress. Compress the legs. And feel that heaviness, that solidity of the earth element as you descend, shoulders to hips, hips to heels. Okay. And then maintain that firmness of the hips on the heels, even as we bend over into the forward bend. Right, so the legs are stable, the pelvis is going to move over the legs, which do not move. So bring your hands to your hips for a moment and start to tilt your pelvis forward and observe that tilting of the frontal hip points down in between the thighs and how the buttocks lifts a little. Now bring your hands on the ground and not too far, just a little bit in front of you, and spread the fingers well and press down into your hands and forward into your fingers and keep pushing your buttocks that way back toward your heels without gripping your calves or thighs or anything like that. And then lift your elbows up away from the ground and squeeze them a little in towards each other. Wrap the shoulder blades around the outer edges of the back so you stay broad in the upper back. Then walk your hands a little more forward. Spread the fingers well and press firmly into the hands and fingers from the elbows up. So you're working your arms and upper body like you would in downward facing dog, which we'll do next, right? But it's a slow preparation. Walk your hands forward. And as you push down and forward, remember to keep that connection of the buttocks to the heels and deflate the legs. You can shimmy the frontal hip points down in between the thighs and also the lower rib cage as you go. Keep your arms strong and straight as you're able. If you need to bend your elbows because your shoulders bother, you can do that, or just try going wider as needed. And then tuck the chin in again towards the clavicular notch. So you elongate the back of the neck without dropping the heavy head. Lift the sides of the throat up. And then observe your shoulder blades on your back. Imagine someone's gently pressing your shoulder blades down in towards the ground, keeping your armpit chest closer to the ground. Keep tucking the chin, and then eventually taking the head down. If there's a big fall, a big drop of the head coming down, you could always support your head, with a blanket or a block. And then observe your back body as you breathe here, right? The spinal column, instead of moving the spine out into the skin, see that moving the spine in towards the front body and forward towards the collarbones and the sternum. So absorb your middle and upper back. Keep your arms active like you would in down dog as you're able. Keep broadening the top edge of the shoulder blades and rolling the shoulder blades around to the outer edges of the back, even as you roll the hands and forearms in. Roll the upper arms out. And spread the skin and flesh of the back body with the breath. And then we'll come up into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So come to your hands and knees. Adjust your knees so the hip width in your feet. Bring the hands maybe a little bit forward. Spread the palms well. And roll to the inner edges of the fingers, outer edges of the thumbs. And again, press down into the hands, forward into the fingers, from the elbows and then up, and wrap the shoulder blades around the outer edges of the back. Push back a little buttocks towards the heels and look towards your feet. Draw your toes under, draw your outer ankles in, and press your inner heels down to the big toe mounds. And again, press into the hands and then lift your knees and hips up. And release your head down. Keep your heels lifted or down. And then wrap the triceps around towards each other and the shoulder blades to broaden the shoulder blades on the back. From the elbows and then up. Press down into the hands, forward into the fingers, and take the chest closer to the thigh, moving the hips further back. And then find your inner thighs and groins up by the pelvic floor and move those back towards the wall behind you. And imagine someone's pulling your outer hips back towards the wall behind you as you reach your heels back a little bit out so that your outer feet are parallel and down also. But stretch open the soles of the feet, the Achilles tendon, the calves as you reach the heels down. Lift the fronts of the shin bones up, right above the ankle. Lift the kneecaps up. And press the whole circumference of the thigh bone back. Release the head, don't lift your head. Just let your head hang like a bowling ball off the neck. Breathe into the back body. Lift the kneecaps and pull the hips back using the legs. Taking the chest closer to the thighs, hollow out. And
Keep all the fingers meeting the mat, all the parts of the fingers, especially the base knuckles of the fingers. Spread the fingers well. Press down into the hand forward. And then walk your feet forward towards your hands. Walk your hands back towards your feet, Uttanasana, standing forward bend. You can soften your ankles and knees so that your hips soften down over your thighs. And glide your feet for the first forward bend. And bend your ankles, bend your knees, widen your knees and thighs like you're awesome forward, so that your frontal hip points come down between your thighs. So Fernando, widen your knees, just your knees, yes, head down, wide knees, wider knees, like really wide, yes. And see if that helps release the torso down, release the head, and then slowly, your hands are beside your feet as you're able, right? Fingertips alongside your feet. Yeah, bring your hands more back, so you're using your legs to balance more than your hands. Don't put the weight too much in the hands. Release the head. Release the whole torso, tailbone to the head. So find the buttocks and separate each side of the buttocks away from the side of the sacrum and root that down into the outer feet as you lift the inner feet up to the inner knees and to the inner groins and widen the inner groins. Roll the inner groins back and the outer hips. Just like in down dog. And slowly open the backs of your legs. Release the hamstrings up from the backs of the knees to the sitting bones as you broaden the sitting bones in the back of the butts. And then root down from the backs of the knees into the heels. And release your torso more down. It's an inversion for your torso. And not to push the abdomen out, but rather softly bring it back, have the back bottom up under the ribs, follow the abdomen. And then we'll slowly get ready to come up. So bring your hands a little bit in front of your feet, come to your teacup hands. You can use your blocks for support, straight elbows, and lift your head up. We're getting ready to come up. So extend your back, and then firm your kneecaps, straighten your knees. Not to hang your buttocks back behind your heels. Keep the buttocks forward so the outer hip is over the outer knee is over the outer ankle, and lift your head up. Right, lift your head up. Now roll your sitting bones down towards your hamstrings and lift your hamstrings up to meet them. Pull the belly in, and then you can either take your hands to your hips or inhale and take your arms all the way up into the Hastasana. And then once you come up, bring your arms up as you go. And have your feet sit from width distance apart. Right? And then wrap the shoulder blades around to the outer edges of the back so your armpits hollow. And firm your elbows. And then observe your thoracic spine in between the shoulder blades. Move that in and up to get more lift to the shoulders. So arching the upper back. Squeeze the elbows in towards each other and spread the fingers well. Palms face each other. And then roll the inner groins back and observe how that spreads the backs of the thighs and the buttocks. And maintaining that, very gently, take the tailbone a little bit towards the pubic bone and lift the pelvic floor up. Lift from the inner feet to the inner knees, to the inner thighs, to the pelvic floor. And lift the pinky side of the arm as you descend the thumb side and soften the inner edge of the shoulder blades down. And then broaden the buttocks and wrap it around to the front and root down into the outer feet there. Keep the top thighs pressing back and absorb the sides of the sacrum to upright the pelvis just a little bit more for those deep buttocks muscles. Lift the ribs one above the other. Lift the ribs above the hips. Lift the arms and squeeze the upper arms in towards the backs of the ears. So not so much back, but straight up. Ribs up. Lift the ribs. Yeah. Good. And then exhale and lower your arms. Good. Okay. So we'll do some Surya Namaskar, some meditation. So we can get the block if you need to have a little support. You might need to have the mat a little bit away from the back of the wall, so you're not too close to them. And then stand at the front of the mat in Tadasana. Think about 6 months distance. Firm your kneecaps, firm your elbows, straight over. And then observe your lines, the outer edge of the feet are parallel. And the knees, the outer knees are over the outer ankles, outer hips over the outer knees, shoulders over the hips, ears over the shoulders. So firm your elbow joints, so they're lazy, right? We're always using our biceps, and then our triceps are weak and underused, right? So release your bicep and extend your elbows using your tricep, and pull your arms a little bit back behind you and down. Imagine your fingers have weights on. Pull your fingers down, and as you do that, lift the arm, chest up. Draw the chin in. Lift the base of the skull off the back of the neck, eyes soft, gaze straight ahead. And then start your breathing, Ujjayi breathing. Inhale and exhale, making a little sound at the back of the throat. And then on your next inhale, take your arms up and Urdhva Hastasana without disturbing Tadasana. Don't push your hips forward. And then exhale, come over into Uttanasana, hands beside the feet. You can, again, you can widen the feet and legs, widen the inner thighs and knees, bend a little bit at the ankles and knees so the hips release over. And take a couple of breaths here and open the back of the thighs, the buttocks. Broaden the pelvic floor and release the torso down. And then come to your fingertips and inhale and bring your right leg back into high lunge. And then lowering your right knee down, no point, low lunge. Draw your outer ankle in and press the top of the foot down and lift the knee up like up dog. And reach back from the front of the rib cage, across the hip flexors, across the quadricep, across the kneecap, to the top of the ankle and foot. And as you do that, sink your left knee forward of your toes, like low lunge. So your knee comes forward of your toes like Marichyasana, Pashasana, Utkatasana. So low lunge means the knee comes forward so you can get more stretching from your groin area and the knee is on the ground, gently. And then pressing your fingertips and look up. Good, and then push back. Now, for high lunge, left knee is over the left ankle, pull the belly in, bring the outer hips, pull your right toes under, and straighten your back legs. So both thighs are parallel to the ground. Flat palm, step back, straight arm chaturanga. Push-up position, high push-ups. Firm elbows and knees. Extend your legs back, torso forward. Firm waist and hips, broad buttocks. And widen your inner thighs as you extend back to your inner heels. Pull your outer heels up to your outer hips. And extend the torso forward. Good. And then exhale gently, bend your knees and lower down. Stay here. Spiral your inner elbows forward and then bend them back. And lift your buttocks up. Right? And then you start to glide forward and lower your chest and chin down. Knees, chest, chin. Ashtanga 8 parts touch. Now extend your legs back. You can pull your hand back a little. Root your hips down. Extend your legs back and curl up into cobra. Keep the front of the hips down. Lift the chest higher than the shoulders. So you're going to draw the shoulder blades down in the back as you lift the chest up. Then exhale. You can go all the way back to the child pose with the knees wide. You're also forward. And then come up through hands and knees into down dog as you're ready. Couple of breaths, firm knees and elbows. Lift the hips, pull the hips back away from the rib cage using the legs. Press strongly into the hands and fingers. Broaden the shoulder blades. Hollow the abdomen. Release the head. Slowly open the backs of the legs, the soles of the feet, ankles, and calves. And then lift your head up, lift your heels up, look between your hands and inhale, bring your right leg forward and come to your fingertips. Lower your left knee down, point your toe, with a low line, okay? And draw the outer ankle in, press the top of the foot down, lift the knee up like up dog, and reach back from the psoas, under the rib cage, along the front of the hip, along the quadricep, to the ankle. And then as you do that, start to bring your right knee forward of your toes and keep reaching your left leg back as you gently lower down and stretch the front of that left leg. And press the hips a little forward and down. Pressing your fingertips, lift your chest, pull your back and up, inhaling. Exhale, lower your head, push back again. So high lunge, right knee with the right ankle. Pull the belly in, turn the outer hips, and curl the left toes under in the shell. And then exhale, step forward to Uttanasana. Release your head, broaden the buttocks from the sides of the sacrum all the way down to the outer feet. Lift the inner feet up to the groin. Widen the pelvic floor, the backs of the thighs and the buttocks. And then looking forward, inhale, reach your arms up. You can look up or straight ahead, with your elbows well, and then exhale, lower your arms, Samasthiti or Tadasana. Again, and now reach up, keeping your hips from flying forward. You can go if you like. Exhale, release over Uttanasana. As you come down, think about your abdomen and soften and spread your abdomen. Widen your rib cage and let your abdominal organs come up under your rib cage. And release your torso. Tail to head down, shoulder blades lift to make space for the neck. Come to your fingertips, head up and inhale, left leg back. Knee down to a point, lunge again. Ankle in, press the top of the foot down, reach the left leg back as you reach the right knee forward and lower the knee. Press into your fingertips, look up, you open the front of that left leg. Push back to high lunge, knee with the ankle, pull your left toes under, firm your hips, flat palm, step back, straight arm chaturanga, push up, send the heels back, torso forward, firm the elbows and knees, hold it and breathe. Look between your hands. Spiral the inner thighs up and extend to the inner feet. Pull the outer feet up to the outer hips, firm the outer hips and extend the side of the body forward out of the hips. Good, and then gently bend your knees, lift your hips, butt sticks up and move back. Inner elbows spiral forward and then bend the elbows back as you move your chest and chin Forward and down, you stretch chin, hips up. And then you can glide back, pull your hand back a little. And roll your thighs in and extend your feet. You can lift the kneecaps up, right? Press the hips down though. And then curl up slowly as much as you can using your back muscles and then add your arms. And draw your shoulder blades down and lift the center of the body up higher than the sides. Yeah, good. And then exhale, then you can go through that little triangle push as needed. And then up into down dog. Firm knees and elbows. Use the legs to pull the hips back away from the rib cage. Pressing down and forward into the hands and fingers, shoulder blades on the back. Release the head, hollow the abdomen and breathe. Then lift your heels, bring your shoulders over your wrists, look between your hands, bring your left leg forward. Come to your fingertips, throw your right knee. Point the toe. Draw the outer ankle in, press the top of the foot down, lift your knee. High, like a cobra, like up dog, sorry. And as you reach back with your right leg, sink your left knee forward over your right toes, one more down. And press into your fingertips and lift your chest, pull your upper back in. And then push back to high lunge, move the ankle, pull the waist in from the outer left hip, lift the back knee, and then exhale, step forward, Uttanasana. Buttocks away from the side, safely to the outer feet, inner feet up to the inner groin, widen the inner groin and pelvic floor. And allow the frontal hip points to come down in between the thighs, releasing the torso down. Coming up, look forward, and then inhale, reach up, buttocks down, hamstrings up, pubic up, keep the thighs from pushing forward, and then exhale, lower your arms. We'll do one more, high lunge, okay, staying high lunge. Inhale, two rounds up, which means two. Exhale, come down, head down. Inhale, step your right leg back, high lunge, from your right knee, spiral the inner right thigh up and extend from your inner groin to your inner knee. So not to sink, lift that right leg up. Left thigh parallel, right leg parallel. Left knee over the left ankle. Flat palm, step back. Straight up chaturanga, firm legs. Just like in high lunge. Spiral the inner thighs up, extend to the inner groins, to the outer feet, to the outer hips, firm hips. Extend the side of the body forward, from elbows, look between your hands. Lift your thighs, Fernanda, lift your thighs, yes, yes, firm your elbows. In, towards each other, yes. Exhale, gently bend your knees, lift your hips, spiral your elbows, bend, knees, chest, chin, 8 parts touching, Ashtanga. Then you extend your legs back, roll your thighs in, outer ankles in, press the top of the feet and lift the knees up, press the hips down, and then you can use your hands a little bit, right? But you more the hips pressing, the legs extending, coil the back in, lift the chest higher than the shoulders, and then exhale. You can always go into that child's pose, and then down dog, couple of breaths. From elbows and knees. Use the legs, pull the hips back with the legs. Press into the hands and fingers to take the shoulder blades deeper on the back, especially the top of. Hollow abdomen, head release. Breathe. Firm elbows. Don't sink your elbows. Lift your elbows up and squeeze the elbows in. Yes. Yeah, don't hinge at the elbow joint. And then lift your heels, head up, look between your hands, bring your right leg forward, high lunge, come to your fingertips. Spiral your inner left thigh up. Extend from your inner groin to your inner heel. Firm your knees. Right knee over the right hip. From the outer hip, look down. Exhale, step forward. Release. Buttocks broad. Inner groins broad. Tail to head release. And then inhale, look up. Thumbs up. Thigh stay back. Exhale, lower your arms. One more time on the left. Inhale. Lift up if you like. Exhale. Release the side of the feet. Release the torso. Inhale. Left leg back. High lunge. Pause. Spiral your left thigh up. Extend from the inner groin to the inner heel. Pull the outer foot to the outer hip. Not to sink your hips, right? Keep your right hip a little higher so your right hip is in line with your right knee. Yeah. Firm your leg. Firm your waist. Look down between your feet. Flat palm, step back, straight arm to the run back. Inner feet back, outer feet to the outer hips. Firm hips. Extend the torso and breathe. Firm elbows, firm knees. Broad shoulder blades. Yes. Firm elbows. Squeeze your elbows in. Yes, yes. Exhale gently over. Lift the hips, bend the elbows. Use chest chin, Ashtanga. Take a moment there. And then reach your hips, extend your legs. Spiral your thighs in. When you lift up, keep your elbows bent. Keep your inner elbows forward. Bend your elbows back toward your hips. And then lift, keep your hips down. Turn your hips down, yeah, that's more like it, elbows in, yeah, that's the truth. Chest up, yes, exhale, you come through your paddle pose if needed. And then down dog, couple breaths, straight knees, straight elbows. Don't sink in your elbow joints. Inner elbows, squeeze them in and up, yes, broad shoulder blades. Take the shoulder blades on the back, from the hands, from the shoulder blades, press into the hands. Use the legs to pull the hips back away from the rib cage. Hollow abdomen, head release, breathe. Lift your heels, shift your weight forward, look between your hands, and inhale, bring your left leg forward, high lunge, come to your fingertips, spiral your inner right thigh up. Extend from your inner right, around to your inner right heel. Right, firm your outer hips, especially the left one. Looking down, exhale, step forward. Uttanasana. Release, widen the inner groins. Move down from the outer hips, tail to head release. Coming up, look forward. Inhale, reach up, keep the athletics down. Keep the thighs back, and then exhale over your arm. Nice to see. Okay, very good. So we'll do a couple of standing poses. Let us turn to face the rope walk. Not the rope walk, the top walk. And then you can have blocks between you. Okay, like so. And then stand in the center of your mat. Feet together. Your elbows, firm elbows. So Simasthana Ki, his feet all the way together. Right, from the outer legs in. Pull the arms down, lift the chest up. The waist. And stand a little forward of your blocks so that when you step and jump, you don't keep your blocks up. So you step forward and on your mat, or you're on the edge of the long edge of the mat. Take a couple of breaths in Samasthiti Ki, which is more of a balance pose. Feet apart is a little easier to balance, feet together is harder. Keep your elbows firm and pull down. So straight elbow joints, yes. And lift your pubic, descend your buttocks a little. Yes. Inner thighs back as you do that, top thighs back as you do that. As you adjust the pelvis, don't push the thighs. Yes, good. And not to push the front ribs to back ribs, right? So that the ribs stay over the hips. Yes, and as you pull the arm down, lift the armpit chest up. Tuck the chin and lift the base of the skull off the top of the knee. Yes, eyes soft, hands broad. Fingertips together, bend your elbows, bend your knees, and then step or jump, extend your arms and legs so that you're missing more over your ankles. Straight elbows, straight knees, and tail down, head up. So you're in a 6-pointed star. And then bend and turn. I'm not going to mirror. Your right leg out, left foot in a little heel to heel or heel to instep. And then roll your left hip a little bit towards your right hip so that you can really externally rotate your right thigh and hip, not to try to keep your hips split. Okay, look to your right, take a breath, and then as you exhale, move your sitting bones towards your back heel, move your frontal hip points along with your torso towards the right, and then bring your right hand down on the block and bring it right on the outside of your ankle or shin so that your hand and elbow are under your shoulder. Take your top hand to your hip for a moment, and then slide it down to the right buttocks behind your back. And then see if you can find the outer right hip and thigh, right where the thigh bone meets the hip socket, and pull that back more towards the back heel, right? And then get your buttocks flush, moving towards the sitting bone, curling the right sitting bone under. Press the outer head of the right femur forward as you roll the left thigh back and roll your torso up from your hips towards the ceiling. Extend your bottom ribs equal to your top. Roll your right shoulder back. Press the right shoulder blade onto the back to turn more. Turn your ribs up towards the ceiling. Then take your top hand up. Take your head back in line with your sacrum as you move your hips forward. And turn your ribs up towards the ceiling as you turn your head to look up at your top thumb with your bottom line. Take a breath in and out. Press into your inner front foot, outer back foot. Move your sitting bones more towards your back foot. Move your torso more towards your front foot. And then on an inhalation, reach up with your top arm, root into your outer back foot, and inhale to come up. And bend and turn. You can bring your hands to your hips. Turn your right leg in. Turn your left leg all the way out at the crease of the groin. Okay? So it's not important to have your hips square to the front of the mat. What's important is to have your front leg all the way to the out. So you can do a forward bend to the side. Okay? And then lift your left hip up off your thigh. And even here, curl your left sitting bone under and press your right thigh back to turn your ribs and chest toward the long edge of the mat. Extend your arms, draw your shoulder blades down, draw your chin in, Turn your head, look to your left, take a breath, and then as you exhale, reaching out to the left, roll your right hip a little bit down so you can do a better forward bend. And then move both sitting bones towards the back heel as you move the torso and the arm and the ribs towards the left leg. Bring the left hand down, bring the right hand to the hip. So bring the hand on the block, right? Use the block, so that you have stability and have like the arm and the leg touching each other, okay? And then slide your right hand down to, as you're able, to the top of your left thigh and pull that, so roll your right hip down more, pull that outer left leg back towards the right leg. And then find that buttocks, left buttocks, and move the top of the buttocks towards the bottom buttocks and curl that left sitting bone under. And press the outer head of the left femur forward as you roll the right thigh back. And open the hips, open the waist, open the shoulders. Now roll your left shoulder back. Power your shoulder blade on your back to turn more. Turn your ribs and then extend your top arm. Okay, and have your head back towards your buttocks as you move your hips forward. Right, and turn your ribs up towards the ceiling as you turn your gaze up and look up at your top thumb with your bottom line. Take a breath in and out. Root into the outer back foot, inner front foot. Extend tail to head. So the tailbone moves towards your right foot and your torso moves towards your left foot. Turn and look. And then rooting into the outer back foot, use your top arm and inhale, come up. Both arms use. Exhale, take your hands to your hips. Bend and turn. Now, you can step a little closer if you got wide. You're going to turn your legs and hips to face the rope wall. So turn your right leg out and turn your back foot in deeply. Parivrtta Trikonasana. Evolved triangle. So turn your back foot in about 60 degrees. You can step your back foot a little closer to your front foot as you turn. Right? Yeah. Bring your outer right knee to your outer right hip as you roll your left buttock around. In the back of the left thigh. Turn your back foot more, Fernando. So you look at Tony's back foot. You can turn more. If you turn, yes, turn your hips. Yeah. It's a revolved hip position. That's it. Press into your inner front foot, outer back foot. Extend your arms, like out to the side, out to the side. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, you start to do a forward bend. And then bring your left hand down. You can use the block on the inside or the outside of the foot, right? Now bring your right hand to your outer right hip. Hook your right thumb in the outer right hip, where the thigh bone meets the hip, and pull that back. So that the outer right knee to the outer right hip, and roll the left buttock down and around to the front. Keep your hand on the hip as you extend the torso out of the hip, right? And root your hips back towards the back leg, and then turn. Turn your rib cage, turn your chest. Roll your left ribs down and around towards the front. Press that left shoulder blade down to the back. And then you can take your top arm up. If you're able, if you feel stable. And pull the hips back, extend the torso forward, and revolve and turn. Turn your head, but turn your rib cage and chest. You can gaze straight ahead, or you can attempt to look up at your top thumb. Take a breath, and then exhale. As you uncurl, looking just in front of your foot, lift your left arm up. Keep your right arm up and turn. Turn all the way. Turn your right leg in deeply. Turn your left leg out completely. Stand the outer back foot, inner front foot. Turn your outer hips. Exhale, you come down halfway. Then you bring your right arm down. Find block. You can bring it on the inside or the outside of the foot. Now hook your left thumb in the outer left hip. Pull it back. Outer knee to outer hip. Roll right up around, back and right thigh around. Firmly go to hips. Keep your right hand at your hip. Pull the hips back towards the back leg. Extend the torso forward and then turn. Power your right shoulder blade on your back. Roll your right ribs down. Keep pulling the hips back towards the back leg as you extend the torso forward and revolve. And then you can bring your left arm up if that feels comfortable. Hips back, torso forward, get that extension, and then roll the right rib down and around to the front. Roll the left shoulder back, even as you power the shoulder blade on the back to turn more. Keep the gaze straight ahead, or if possible, you can look up. Good. Take a breath, exhale, start to bring your left arm down, looking down. Now take your right arm up, so you use both arms and legs. Turn. Good. Okay, now we're going to do Urdhva. So the blocks are there if you need. So I'm just going to show the hand position options. So you can hold like this, if that's enough for you, or here, if you think you need your hands, you might fall, right? You can turn your right arm in an external rotation, hold the elbow, then you bend and hold the other elbow like this, right? So you're binding your arms. Full pose is Paschimma Namaskar, where you bring your fingertips together, snuggle your hands up, right? Lift and roll your upper arm bones back, push your elbows in towards each other, right? And that gives your chest a little lift. So it's harder for your wrists down here. it's harder to get up here, right? But it's easier on your wrists and shoulders. So you have choices, okay? So go ahead and bring your feet together. Sorry. Yeah, feet together. And then you can have the blocks handy if you think you might need them. So then take your preferred hand position. So you can hold the hips, you can hold one wrist behind, you can hold your elbows, right? Or you can take pushing in on the scarf. Okay. Good. And then step or jump your legs, you go wide. Good. And then bend and turn your right leg out and step and turn your backward in deeply. So you're facing the rope wall again, just like Parvati, evolve triangle. Find your outer right knee, draw it back to your outer right hip as you roll the left hip around. So you square the hips. Firm the outer hip foot, widen the inner thighs. Keep the space. Press strongly into your outer back foot, inner front foot. And firm your outer hips as you coil your upper back in, looking up, inhale. And then exhale, keep that chin lifting as you extend forward. So you're looking forward. Now stay about halfway. Draw the outer right knee back to the outer right hip, roll the left buttock around, shift a little, turn your abdomen a little, and then you come over your right leg. You can bend the front knee as needed. Keep the back leg straight and keep pushing into the inner front foot to pull the hips back and the outer back foot for your stability. Good. You can bend the front knee and see if you can release the head. Bend the front knee if you're very far from your leg, and bring your left buttock around, outer right knee to outer right hip, and release your head, raise your knee, and you're able. Lift the right buttock up, and roll the left foot around. Yeah, good. That's it. Now, to come out, that's the inner front foot, outer back foot, firm the hips, and then inhale, extend the torso, chin, chest forward as you come up. Exhale, turn and just face the props, keep parallel and wide. Release your arms. So now, if you're holding the elbows, you change the hold of the elbow. So you externally rotate your left arm, you hold above the elbow, and then you bend, hold your other elbow, okay? Or if you're holding your wrist, change the wrist. And if you have Mishima, you can then repeat, reverse prayer position. Okay, lift, roll the upper arm to the back, press the elbows in towards the wrists, okay? And then bend and turn your left leg out, and you can step your right leg a little out to the side or closer, so you can turn the right leg in deeply. Press into the inner front foot, outer back foot, right buttock around, outer left knee to outer left hip to square the hips. Inner thighs don't collapse, press them into the bones, outer hips firm. Inner front foot, outer back foot. Coil your upper back in, lifting your head up as you inhale, look up. Exhale, press into the inner front foot, outer back foot, firmly outer hips, and extend about halfway. And then reset, outer left knee to outer left hip, roll the right buttock down, and keep the inner thighs firm. Shift and turn over your left leg. Remember, you can bend your left leg any amount. Keep the right leg straight. And press into the inner front foot and outer back foot to pull the hips back as you extend over the leg. Otherwise, all your weight comes forward, right? And you can yeah, good. Yeah, and turn. Yes, remember, good. Now pull the hips back, inner front foot, outer back foot, and then from the outer hips, extend the torso forward as you pull the hips back, chin, chest forward as you inhale the top. Exhale, turn to the side of the mat, step it down, extend your arms. Good. Take a moment. So extend your arms down, yeah, shoulders back, chest up, feet all the way together. Inner thighs back, tailbone a little forward, top thighs back, sides of the sacrum forward. So upright the pelvis, turn the legs, turn the elbows, pull the arms down and back. Not to push the front ribs, right? Pull the front ribs back so that your ribs are right over your hips. The shoulders roll back a little, right? And pull your arms behind you. So your elbows really straight and pull your arms down to lift your arms and chest up. Imagine the top of the head is touching the ceiling and that you're going to do Shirshasana next. So you would want to have the alignment of your torso so that your ears are over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips, over the knees, knees over the ankles, so that when you go up to Shirshasana, you can get it. So let's do that. So if you don't have Shirshasana in your practice, we'll do it in the middle of the room with your head off the ground. It's just like down dog, basically. If you have Shirshasana in your practice, you may do that now. Headstand, okay? At the wall in the middle of the room. Never done it, not sure, been a while. For some reason, not supposed to do it, let me know, okay? So I'll show you what you can do if you're not coming up.
Okay. So this is preparation, okay? So we're gonna come down, and we do it in the middle of the room, so you're not gonna go up, no fear, right? So your elbows come down, right, below your shoulder, you interlace your finger, just like for headstand, extend the pinky side of the hand, webbings of the finger together. So you extend the pinky side of the wrist, so you don't want to collapse, maybe collapse this way, and then there's no strength, so you keep the thumb side over the pinky side, press down, release your head. And then lift your hip, so it's like down dog, right? And then you press down and forward with your forearm, take your chest closer to your thighs, and just let your head hang with your hip. And then you walk in as much as you can do, and then you can just work on this kind of thing, you know, without spiraling everything out of control, right? Extend one leg, firm and lift, right? Just like that. Or you can not lift your legs and just be in down dog with your head up like that, and really work your shoulders. Good, Marie, beautiful, good, Marie, beautiful. Okay, go. And if anybody feels confident, should let me assist them to come up in the room once you've done that, you can. I'm not here, we can, together, if you like. Yep, so in this version, the head is off the ground, right? So that you really get the lift of the shoulders. Can you do a little adjustment? It's gonna be here, is this okay for you? Okay, I'm gonna lift this up, yeah. And you do that now, lift your shoulder, yeah, in that way, yeah, as you, yeah, good. And this one, something, right? So you'll look this way a little, and yes, yeah, good. Stay there. Put your leg down, please. Stay there and breathe, and stay there, knees straight. Now bring your feet all the way together. No, all the way together with your feet, yeah. Now just lift your heels a lot, just lift your heels, yeah. And lift the hips, lift here, yeah. So you see how that's preparation, right? For headstand, right? Release your head, don't hold anything in it, good. And then from there, if you want, you can raise your leg up. Beautiful, Deborah. Roll the front thighs in, lift the inner burns up to the ear heels, lift your inner heel just a little more. Yeah, good. Buttocks up, move back, press the forearm down, everyone. Lift the shoulder blades out, that's the mantra. That's the foundation. Good, baby, beautiful. Forearm down, shoulders up. Buttocks up. Remember this backwards. Good, Fernanda. Breathe, yeah. Good, so come down. No, not all the way, just your leg. Yeah, actually come a little away from you all, which is close. You know, get your elbows angle. Yeah, good. Now with the press the forearm down with the shoulders up. Head and forearms down, shoulders up. Good. Now knees up. Good. Now as you walk in, keep your chest going that way. Straight knees, straight legs, straight, lift. Yeah. Okay, good. All right. Now one leg. Good. Now flex the foot. Good. Okay. Good. To the wall. Yeah, the heels to the wall. Yeah, inner feet up. Good. Push the heels to the wall, move the buttocks away. Yes. Good. You okay? Your head's a little turned this day. Good. Beautiful. Keep the heels pressing, buttocks forward. Good. Okay. You want to try coming up? Maybe they're here. Here. Yeah. Good. Press the forearm down, keep the head down. Head down. Now you're going to bring the head on the ground. Head on the ground. Yeah, so bring the head down. Head on the ground. Yeah, that has to be down. Press the forearm down, lift the shoulders up. Good. Walk in. Good. Lift one leg up. On your wall, straight leg. Good. Good. That's it. It's kind of fun to do it in the middle of the room. Yeah, look. She's doing it. He is doing it. I'm very lightly here with you. Very lightly. So lift your inner feet. Yes. Move your buttocks forward a little towards your face. That's it. That way. So firm the buttocks. Yeah. Lift your legs up. Firm your legs in. Good. Press your shoulders, arms down, and lift your shoulders up. Yes, like that. Yes. Good. Ready to come down? Good. One leg. Now fold from your waist. Here. Go. Fold from your waist. No, keep your legs straight. Take it down. One leg down. Take this leg. And fold from. Yes. There you go. Oh, good. Oh, very good. Good. That was great. Okay. Kind of fun to do that. Yeah. It's so much lighter than you think, but you have to learn to use your muscles. Like instead of rooting down, your legs have to lift up now. You have to lift your hips off your lower back with your legs, right? And you have to lift your shoulder blades up, of course, strongly. Yeah. So when you come down, you need to come down, Fernanda. Great leg. Good. Rest in child pose. Good. You can rest in child pose. You can rest in down dog or Uttanasana to release your neck, or all three, right? So what do you need to do? Release your neck.
Then it's an abdominal class. Okay, so I may have taken too much time standing, but we'll do some abdominal, okay? So, you're gonna do bending abdominal twists to Jairavata Haridvartanasana, okay? So, you lie down on the back. You might want to take a couple breaths into it. Okay. Let's get a couple breaths. Yeah, let that go for a moment. We'll whiz through these abdominal twists, so they won't hold you too, okay? So now bend your knees and bring your feet flat, hip width apart. Okay, bring your arms out to the side, palms up. Take a couple of breaths here, release your lower back. Now look at your arms, right and left. So when you extend your arms out to the side here, have your arms a little below your shoulders, not above. And then draw the shoulder blades down, and then spread the arms from the center of the chest through the elbows and the wrists to the fingers, right? And also from the upper back, spread and extend, okay? Now, bend your right knee up towards your chest, flex the foot, and then bring the left knee up towards your chest, flexing the feet. Roll the front thighs in and extend through the inner feet. Hollow the abdomen and broaden the waist, and press the backs of the arms down. Take a breath, and then as you exhale, you're gonna bring your knees over to the right, about a third of the way down. Don't go too far, right? Now, the feet tend to fall down, so lift the feet up and roll the thighs towards the ground a little bit more, the tops of the thighs. And then just hold it. It's an abdominal exercise in a twist, right? So your left ribs have come off the ground, right? So turn your waist at your bottom ribs and reach your left ribs towards the ground, even as your hips and your lower waist move to the right. And then you can let your knees come a little closer to the ground and bring your knees up a little more towards your armpit and keep turning your ribs to the left, pressing into both arms. You'll have more weight in your right arm, right? And lift the bottom leg into the top leg and inhale to come up. Pause there and exhale. So you can wrap your arms around your legs and hug your knees in, hollow your abdomen and release your lower back. And you can do that anytime, okay? Then flex your feet, evert, which means extend the inner feet, pull the outer feet back, and squeeze the legs together. Extend your arms, press the arms down, and expand from the chest and upper back. Take a breath, and as you exhale, take your knees to the left, about a third of the way down. Observe how the feet want to fall down. Lift the feet up and roll the fronts of the thighs more down. And observe your right ribs that come off the ground, your back ribs, right? So you turn your waist back at your lower rib cage towards the ground, even as the hips and the lower part of the abdomen move to the left. And then as you turn your ribs to the right, you can slowly release your legs, maybe a little bit more down towards the ground and towards your left armpit. And press equally in both arms, there you'll feel more weight, of course, in your left arm. Okay, and then lift the bottom leg into the top, inhale, and as you exhale, turn your ribs back towards the ground. Now, go ahead and wrap your arms around your legs. And we're gonna do it again. So you can either repeat that, or we're working towards doing it with straight legs, called Jairavata Haridvartanasana. So this time, let your knees fall in towards your chest as much as they can as you extend your arms. And then extend your right leg, okay, if you want to try the next stage. And then line up your left knee with your inner right thigh, so knees stay together. Then extend your arms and press down, take an inhale, and as you exhale, bring your legs to the right. So now the right leg is straight, which is the bottom leg, right? Now still roll your thighs a little more towards the ground. And extend from the center of your upper back and chest and press your arms down and turn your left ribs back towards the mat as your right foot comes closer to your right hand. And keep lifting your right leg a little bit up into your left leg. Okay, and then inhale to come up. Exhale, bend. Let your knees fall into your chest. I realize I actually should have done it the other way. But oh well. We do it that way. So we do it that way on the other side. So straighten your left leg and then roll the thighs in and squeeze the legs together. So your left leg supports your right. Okay. Take a breath, extend your arms, and as you exhale, bring your legs to the left, right? And then your left foot works towards your armpit. Roll your thighs more down towards the ground so your right foot doesn't fall so much to the ground. Turn your right ribs back so the back ribs try to meet the mat. And then slowly release your legs a little closer towards your left foot, left hand, and towards the ground. And lift the bottom leg into the top leg, press the arms down and inhale to come up. And then exhale, bend your left leg, so wrap your arms around. Hug your knees to chest. Let's do it the other way, let's see if it's easier. Bend your right knee, keep your left leg straight. Take a breath, arms extend, and then exhale, bring your legs over to the right. Okay, so now your bottom leg is bent, top leg straight. That's easier, right? And then maybe you can turn a little bit more of your ribs to the left as you bring your knees, right knee and your left foot closer to your right hand into the ground. And then lift the bottom leg into the top and exhale and turn back. Bend your left leg, straighten your right leg. Roll the thighs and squeeze the legs together. Extend the arm, press the arms down, take a breath, and then exhale, knees to the left. Right, so now your top leg is bent, your top leg is straight, your right leg is straight. And then you roll the thighs down, lift the left foot up a little, and roll the right ribs back towards the ground, back ribs. As you release your hip and your two legs toward the left, so your right foot moves closer towards your left hand. And you keep lifting the bottom leg a little into the top leg. And then press the arm down, inhale, and as you exhale, turn the right ribs back, come back. Then wrap your arms around your legs, hug, take a breath. So we'll do one more. Either you're gonna do both legs straight, or you're gonna do one of those other three options we just did, okay? Extend your arms, press your arms down, open your chest, unfold your legs, if you're gonna do straight legs, so both legs straight. And as you're able, bring your feet closer to your head side, more like halasana, right? Take a breath and then keep your legs firm, knees firm, feet flexed and everted. So roll the inner feet up, outer feet back. And then start bringing your legs to the right, right? And go about a third of the way. And roll the right thigh like away more. So you turn your thighs more down towards the ground, right? And keep the bottom leg into the top leg. Turn the ribs to the left, and then see if you can allow your legs to go a little bit more down towards the ground and your feet a little closer towards your right hand as you press your arms down. Try to press the left arm down more. And then inhale, exhale, turn the ribs, come up and bend your knees. Take a breath and rest. You can hug the knees or just let them relax if that's enough. Woohoo! One more. Okay. So you can either do both legs bent or one or the other leg straight or both legs straight. Okay. Extend the arms, press down, let the feet fall toward the head side, a little like halasana. Take a breath, and then as you exhale, move your legs to the left, right? In part of yourself. Whatever it is. General, very Barcelona. And then roll the left thigh away a little bit. So your toes point more towards the ground, right? And then turn your right ribs back towards the mat. And then slowly release your legs a little bit more down if you're able, towards your left hand, towards the ground. Keep extending the right arm. Take an inhale, exhale, turn the right rib back to come back up, lifting your legs, bend your knees, wrap your arms around, hug, and release. Good. Okay, and then when you're ready, take your legs down one by one, extend your legs one by one. But first the knees bent and then straight. So you don't strain your abdomen coming out. That's where we tend to hurt ourselves, right? Coming out mindlessly. So you don't strain your back, right? The idea is to work your abdomen, not strain your back. So next, we'll do single leg raises. So you can adjust yourself on your mat so you're kind of centered and head and feet are on the mat. Bring your legs all the way together. Supta Tadasana, reclining mountain pose. Roll the front thighs in, firm the kneecaps, extend through the inner feet, pull the outer feet back, and press the outer knees down too. Curl the tailbone a little bit towards the pubis. Bend your elbows alongside your rib cage, and then hands face each other, hands firm. Dig the elbows, the head, and the buttocks down. Lift the chest up and the shoulders, and then roll the outer edge of the upper arm down. And press the outer edge of the upper arm down. And roll the arm of the chest up towards the ceiling. So this is like bridge pose, just giving you a little idea about bridge. And then as you exhale, slowly deflate your front ribs and your side waist down. And pull your tailbone a little more towards your pubis and bring your lower belly towards your spine. But keep this open chest. Extend your arms down to the ground and turn your palms down as your shoulders roll open. Firm your legs again and sink your waist toward the back body. Press the left leg down and inhale, raise the right leg up. Exhale and lower. Press the inseam of the right leg down and inhale, raise the left leg up. And exhale, lower, and continue. Alternating knees, alternating the legs. Keep both knees straight, both feet flat. So imagine you're doing this standing, right? So keep your standing legs solid, both legs solid.
both knees straight. And the knees don't straighten by pushing out through the heel, the knees straighten by engaging the quadricep at the top of the kneecap, right? But you can also push out through the heel, but that's not going to straighten the knee, right? So observe that, right? And roll the inner thigh down of the opposite leg, so don't just let it pop up, and observe where you're tight there. Go slow, don't go fast, right? Not too slow, but not too fast. Keep both legs, so you're kicking the leg up, right? Don't do it. Okay, straighten your both legs, straighten, no, don't kick. Yeah, so lower down, and stay there and breathe, and straighten your knees and flex your feet, firm yourself. Good, and when you've had enough, you can rest in Shavasana. Now, keep pressing the left leg down and slowly raise the right leg up. Yeah, that's better. Straight, and then slowly lower. And then press this leg down and slowly raise this leg. Yeah, okay, so it's not a kick. Oh, yeah, okay, and then rest in Shavasana, a couple of breaths. Once you finish up on your left leg. And relax your eyeballs in your brain. Turn your palms up, roll your shoulders open. Yeah, breathe. So the next one we're going to do is Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. These upward facing legs. So we're going to do lowering of the legs down once the legs come up. Okay. So there's very different variations you can do with your arms. Classical is arms overhead. So if you want to attempt that arms overhead one, then you need to adjust yourself away from the wall. So when you extend your arms overhead, they don't touch, your fingers don't touch the wall behind you. Okay. So bend both your knees and bring your feet flat on the mat. Now, the arm variation you can start with if you want is tucking your hands under your buttocks. So you're at the bottom part of the buttocks, and that helps you roll your lower back more towards the mat. Okay, then you bend your knees up to your chest one by one, like we did before. And then you straighten your legs up one by one. But this time you keep your legs straight up, right? So the legs are perpendicular to the ground. Now, this might be enough for you to just stay here. Otherwise, you're going to take an inhale and roll your thighs and extend through your inner feet. Pull your outer feet back to your outer hips. And then exhale and lower your legs a third of the way towards the ground. Pause there and breathe. Sink your waist. Lower belly to the spine, sides of the waist down. Let the hips roll back a little. And then as you exhale, lower your legs and also extend about 2/3 of the way down. Pause and breathe. And sink your waist. And then take a breath. And as you exhale, lower your legs and also extend towards the front of the mat. About an inch from the ground, and pause there. And then slowly lower your legs all the way down. You take your hand out, or bend your knees, actually. So you can keep your hands under your buttocks, or arms at your sides, palms down. You can bend the elbows together, roll the outer edge of the upper arm down so you don't collapse your chest, right? Widen the back and sweep the waist, and then extend the arms and turn the palms down, just like we did for single leg raises. And then bend your knees up one by one. And then extend your legs up one by one. So this is preparation for shoulder stand, right? Roll the front thighs in, extend the inner groin to the inner feet, pull the outer feet down to the outer hips. Firm the outer hips and sink the waist. Okay, so if you're having a hard time doing that, sit on the hands again. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, extend and lower your legs a third of the way down. Follow the waist. Pause and breathe. Mind, you have to keep your waist firm. And then again, as you exhale, extend and lower 2/3 of the way down. Pause. Roll the outer edge of the upper arm down if you're able. Chin down. And then as you exhale, an inch away from the ground. Pause. Extend, sink the waist, shoulders down. And then slowly lower the legs all the way down. Take a breath. And then when you're ready, bend your knees up one more time. We'll do it. So this time, if you want, you can try arms overhead. So feet flat on the ground. Inhale, you take your arms overhead. You want to try that option. Palms up, fingers spread. Backs of the hands on the ground. Take an inhale, exhale, sink the waist, sides of the waist, lower belly to the spine, so the hips roll back a little. Bend your knees up to your chest one by one, and then extend your legs one by one. Roll the thighs in, firm the knees, extend from the inner groin to the inner feet, pull the outer feet to the outer hips, firm the outer hips, sink the waist. And then as you exhale, extend and lower again, third of the way. Pause. And then as you exhale, extend and lower 2/3 of the way and pause. And firm the waist down and the arms. And then one more time to the inch, right? Extend and lower to the inch. And then slowly all the way down. And then bring your arms back down and take a couple of breaths in Shavasana. Very good. So these abdominal this abdominal work, this often gets ignored, right? But it's good work. It's good for you. So, sometimes we do it on the weeks when we have 5 weeks. Plus I have teacher training, and they have to do good, so that's really nice. I only got half of the abdominal stuff in yesterday, so, good. So, when you're ready, then actually let's do rolling bridge. Bend your knees one by one, bring your feet flat on the ground, arms along your sides. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, roll your hips back, so your tailbone and sitting bones curl up towards the backs of your thighs, and you flatten your lower back on the mat. And then pressing into the inner feet, so you don't splay the knees out. As you inhale, press your feet, lift your hips up, and slowly curl your spine up off the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae, into a bridge. You won't go super high, it's fine. And then as you exhale, keep your hips up, but sink your rib cage down, so you come down from the top of your spine towards the bottom, uncurling like lowering a necklace, link by link, down, right? And then you elongate the lower back, and then you release the lower abdomen, and lift the hips from all the way down, and roll the hips a little bit forward. Okay, take an inhale, exhale, sink the waist, let the hips roll back, and then engage the button legs and curl the hips up, and inhale as you lift the ribs up, maybe come up a little higher this time, pushing into the feet. Back of the neck long, soften the back of the neck, and then as you exhale, you slowly lower that gold chain back down to the mat of your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, from the top to the bottom. Elongate the lower back, and then release the hips, let the hips roll forward. So you can keep the arms down, or you can take the arms overhead as you do. So you can try that one. Exhale, roll the hips back, and then start to lift the hips, and then lift the arms up too. And take the arms all the way up and overhead, palms face the ceiling like we did in Urdhva Prasarita. Stay here for a moment, and then raise your arms up to the ceiling as you inhale, and then as you exhale, start to lower your torso and arms down. When your arms are down, your armpit chest. And then you try to meet the mat with your hips and hands at the same time. You can do that a couple times. Roll the hips forward, and then as you exhale, roll the hips back. Press the feet, lift the buttocks up, lift the arms up, roll up. You should be able to get up a little higher when you take your arms overhead, right? And then stay with the hips up, and as you inhale, lift your arms up, fingertips touch the ceiling. And then as you exhale, you start to lower your arms and roll your spine down. And then release your hips and just relax. Take breath. And then come over to your side and come up. And take a blanket on your mat, open all the way. We're gonna do some rolling, other kind of rolling. So hopefully you don't mind rolling. You'll see. This is like a fun little way to work your way into both Halasana, Paschimottanasana, well, more than that, also Navasana, and then eventually Pravadasana. So make sure you're not too close to the wall, and then bring up a little bit this way so you don't knock the legs. Okay, so you don't want to be too close to that. I mean, to the wall. Towards the front edge of your mat. Okay, watch first. So this helps you learn what to use to get up in the shoulder stand. Okay, so watch. So it's just this, right? It's around that. So if you're very tight here, you'll fall back. You know, like hard on the back of your head. So you have to let your hips roll back, right? If you don't going back with a flat back, you'll land hard. Does that make sense? So you're round like a little ball, right? And your chin in towards your chest. But then after some time, I want to look at this. See how I'm using my legs and stuff to lift? And that's kind of the energy you need to get into shoulder stand. So let's try that a few times. First is just round your back. Tuck your chin and roll. You know. And then you start to find something to lift your hips up. And pause a moment before you come back down. Yeah. So when you lift your hips up, you can also lift your knees up a little. So your hips go high. So yeah, so look here. Is it Annette? Yeah, Annette, yeah. Like, see if you can get that. Yes. Exactly. Good. So now you can begin to do this. Watch. You can go this.
Right, so you have to get that lift of the hips.
in order to get into halasana, right? So that's that same lift. Right, they won't just, yes, exactly, and if they don't go, that's okay, they don't have to go all the way, just keep rolling and playing with that action. So see if you can take your arms behind your head when you do it. Yes, there you go. Now she got the momentum. So one of my friends who used to teach here in Chicago, she was great, she did our teacher training, Elizabeth Gallo, some of you know her. She said her mother used to make her and her sisters do this in the hallway when they were over anxious, like, you know, and super anxious to sleep. And then they would fall asleep. I don't know if that works for adults, but.
So then you can do this. Uttanasana. Halasana. Uttanasana. Halasana.
Put it down. Yes, see, things are loosening. Maybe you might want to move over, so you guys don't accidentally see each other. Yeah. Good. Okay, I'll show you the next one. Yes, there's the next one. Let's actually do the next one after that, but we'll just do the next. Okay, so the next one is, you come up to Navasana.
Halasana.
Navasana. Navasana. And do that. You go really hard. Navasana. Well, it's just a light touch. You're not staying long, right? But you can lightly touch it and you go back to Halasana. Yes, and then come back to Navasana. And then go down to Paschimottanasana. Not a certain thing. Yes. Okay. Good. And then I'll show you the one other thing. This is just for fun, but you have to be at the front, right?
And you have to go all the way. I knew.
But careful you don't slip on your tassels. Do you want to try that one?
Yeah.
That's very funny. Yeah, so what you actually flip this back for safety. Yeah, I think that's better. And then you have my few. Yeah, so this is gonna try it. Yeah. Yes, yes, Mia, almost, yeah. Wide your knees, do your knees wide, arms between your knees, rather than arms on the outside of your knees, take your arm between your knees. There we go. Yes. Like that. But your knees go together, lift your knees apart. So look, I think it's much easier with your knees.
Put the feet down before.
Yeah.
It's easier when you put the feet apart.
Is what?
And together, for me, it's easier when I put the feet apart and together.
Okay. Yeah, you can, yeah, that's fine too. Yeah. Oh, there's your bed. All right. So now, Navasana. So just flip this blanket up here, okay, and take your belt. And make a big loop. And then if you're right-handed, you want the tail on your right hand side, okay? And the loop's pretty darn big. And then you'll adjust it. Okay, so like that. You're gonna put the belt behind you, right up under your armpit. And slide, flip, and buckle a little bit to the right. And then you're gonna put the balls of the feet. And you can sit up on that blanket. A little softness is nice. And then you can adjust, you know, the tail here to make it the right tension. So that you can go back and see now I'm balancing quite nicely here with my knees bent. And then I can also straighten my legs or to the back a little and come into Navasana. Not fun. Yeah, so tighten it up a little, and you can always loosen it, right? Get it up, yeah. So start even with your knees bent and roll the legs in, squeeze the legs together, and just be there. That's good. And then lift your chest. Good. And then think about straightening your leg. Yes. Good, yeah. And then instead of having it around your toes, get the belt down at the balls of your toes. Yeah, just the base knuckles of your toes. Yeah. Then you can push into the belt. Yeah. Lift the chest. Roll the shoulders back. Now maybe you can make your arms. Yeah, so be careful, Deborah, and maybe if you fall back, you might hit your head on the wall, just be careful, you might want to move forward. Okay, and also it might be a little too tight because your feet are pretty high, so like it's a little high for me too, so I'm gonna go a little bit down. So toes combined with eyes is better. A little more, yeah, like that, yeah. Ah, this is the lazy man's Pilates. But it gives you a sense of the pose, don't you think? I think you need to open it just a little more. I think it's too tight for you. Open the loop a little more.
Yeah,
And then,
my legs are straight now, so.
yeah, that's good. Inner feet forward, outer feet back. So instead of this, yeah. So instead of this, which is invert, you evert your feet. Yes, like that. Now push the balls of the feet into the belt with the chest. Yes, straight knees. And then extend your arms. Yes. Yeah, good. So see how your feet went as high? So that's why I think it's a little too, if you bring your feet more down so the toes are in line with the eyes. Yeah, good. Okay, now you can continue with that, right? But what I'd like you to try now is to lean back and hold your knees like this. And balance, find that balance position. And then lift your legs up and hold behind your knees. Squeeze the legs together and point the feet a little bit more than flex. Not too much point, not because you don't want to harden the soles of the feet. Squeeze the legs together. Extend your arms. That's it, and then extend your legs. Yes. And you're in Navasana. Okay, so if you fall back, then bend your knees again and lift your chest. It means you're tight. It's just tight, right? And then you extend. Right? Good. And then you bend. Good. And then lower down. So that was fun. You want an even more fun version? So you roll back a little bit more. Interlace your fingers behind. Lean back, and then you extend your legs. So Ardha Navasana. This one's a little fun.
The base of the occiput.
Yeah, hold your neck at the base of the skull, yeah, so that you support your head and neck, right? And then you lean back, and you have to, for this one too, it's like that rolling, you have to roll your sacrum back. Yeah, but not too much, right? So you don't wanna, you wanna, yes, more like that. Yeah, and then you can start to open. Yeah, if you extend your arms, you come back up. And then you come down. Yes, yeah, and then come up. Well, if you go too low, you lose it. That's okay. So that's some fun with Navasana. Take it one step further. Take Baddha Konasana. Take your big toe with your 2 fingers in the air. Stay on that blanket, I think it's nice and soften it. Lean back a little. Now, roll the inner legs towards the arms. And you can bring your feet a little bit apart and extend the inner feet and pull the outer feet back. So like we've been doing, evert, so watch this action, right? As you hold the toes, and lean back and squeeze the legs into the arms. Yeah, find your balance. Yeah, or you can hold the outside of the feet, that's fine too. And then you slowly work on. So if you're tight, just stay with your knees bent and your feet a little apart, right? You can do like this. Extend the inner feet, pull the outer feet back. Eventually, you get the legs straight, and then what you do is lift the chest a lot, take the head back, point the toes a bit more. And look up. Point the toes a bit more. Feet together, maybe if you can. Good. Yes, Neon. Good. Yes. And then release. That's a fun one. So that's a Ubaya Padangusthasana. Okay, and then the next one is Urdhva Mukha Padangusthasana. If you want to try, a little harder. You hold the outsides of the feet, legs on the middle. You could actually do it with your legs, arms on the inside too, but this is a different way of getting in, which is also kind of nice. Right? Yes. And then you bend the elbows out, you take the chest to the legs, and the legs to the head. Yeah, and you fold in half. Yes. This is called Urdhva Mukha Padangusthasana. And then you can go from there back to Ubaya Padangusthasana, which I don't know if that means that you extend the head, right? And then you can come back to Navasana, and then you can go to back up, and so on. Yeah, so you can play. It's not fun, right? Not too terrible. Okay, so then we'll do bridge. That completes our additional routine. So Sthiti Bandha Sarvangasana 3 times. Watch. So feet hip width, elbows bent like this. Try to get the elbows in.
roll the inner feet so your knees don't flex, right, buttocks spread. Dig the elbows, the butt, the head down, lifting the chest, roll the outer edge of the upper arm as much as you can under. Roll the hips forward, arching your lower back. And then from here, you come up, pressing into your inner feet, outer edge of the upper arm. Try to get the shoulders more under you, right? And lift the armpit, chest up, and everything, right? So then when you come down, tailbone comes down, right? Like an anchor. And then you repeat this, and you can rest in between, right? Second time when you come up, you can work on extending and interlacing, okay? Or if this is enough, stay here. Third time, you can try this one, holding the feet, you move the knees forward, called crown chasana. Then you walk the feet a little forward, so you want to end up with your heels under your knees, right? And still you're not slaying the knees apart. The back of the neck releases and lengthens. Okay, so those are the three. And if, you know, each one gets harder, you just stay at the one behind, okay? If your neck is bothersome, you could have a folded blanket under your shoulders, so your neck can go off the folded blankets. You want to try that? Or, so,
Wait, it's like vertigo.
oh, okay.
So I just need to get a little higher than that.
Okay, then you can't do groups that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna stretch your neck.
Okay.
So you can't let your head go back this way?
Yeah, lately,
Oh, okay.
Right.
So why don't you put some of your support groups on the wall? Yeah, so the idea is to learn how to use this to get the lift, right, and get the shoulders underneath, and then it's just, you know, easy to get the arms, right, so you can roll your shoulders under more, possible, and I get this too. You're taking the traps this way. Yeah, you move the arms that way, and move the back that way. Let's. Now push into my legs and lift more. Yeah, find that lift. Good, and then I'll let go, but don't let your legs go wide. Good. Turn your toes in, especially your left one. Turn your feet in more, toes in, yeah. There you go. Good, good. Now that's it. Can I give you a little lift here? Come over here. I'm gonna take your traps this way, right? And go up arms that way. Lift the back wrist. Lift the buttocks. And I'm gonna squeeze here, squeeze my legs. Yeah, and lift. Good. Now let go of your legs. Legs sticking. Yeah. Good. Lift your hip more and more. Yeah, take your shin bones back. Good. And then extend your arms so you can touch your yes. Good. And roll your shoulders under more. Good. And you come down under that. So does that feel like too much strain on your neck, or is it okay? Okay. Good, and then move down and rest. And I really wanted to get you up into Sarvandasana. Although we only really have a few minutes left. So can we do it? Okay, so those of you who feel like it's too much, you can do legs up the wall. But if you would like to do Sarvandasana, I highly recommend it. And you can do it from legs up the wall. If you're new to it, you can find your legs up the wall into bridge. So we can do that. So anybody who's a little hesitant about shoulder stand, take your mat to the wall, take 3 blankets in the middle of your mat with the, not the tassel end, but the clean end from the middle, okay? And then I'll set you up for that. Yeah, and if you have another way of your shoulder stand, you can chair in the middle of the room, with your feet flat on the ground, whatever it is, use blankets so you don't straighten your neck. Then you can do that. So if you want to try to, you're going to try it? I think just legs up the wall is enough. Yeah, okay. So do you want to try it? Yeah. Yes? Okay, come off your neck and I'll show on your nap. So we have, okay. You need 3 blankets in the middle of your dome. And they're folded just like you get them out of the rock wall. And it's a foundation to the pose, so you want the blanket folded well. Ready? And the clean edge means not the tassel edge toward the middle of the room. And then when you snap the blanket, it's just a teeniest bit back with a teeny little stair up. Okay. And then you fold the mat over the blankets so that the mat catches your elbows, but your shoulders can slide on the blanket. So a little bit of blanket free. And then you take the mat close to the rope wall. It depends on your you know, the height of your torso and everything. Okay. So let me show you. Then with your mat. Okay. So you're gonna get one side, shoulder, hip, and then you roll over. So you're in the middle, right? And then your shoulders are on head up. Then you bend your knees and you lift your hips and you bend your elbows like we did in the middle of the room, right? Like this. Then you can get your toes on the wall, roll your thighs in, see if you can get your hands on your back. Then you can practice, when you take the leg, usually what happens is this. You want to keep the leg straight and look at my buttocks, move the buttock. Yeah, and move the hands to the neck. Then eventually you both ways off. And then come down. Like that. So, come down and move over, so you're in between the two hooks. Yeah, and then you can make your ropes to get up. Yes, good, and done. Can I give you an adjustment? Yeah. I'm gonna bring my feet on the outside of your elbows and you're gonna lift you like that, okay? That all right? Yeah. Keep taking your thighs up and back and up and back towards your elbows. Yes, towards your elbows. Thighs up and back towards your elbows. Yeah, so get the weight on your elbows and lessen your throat. Yeah, and soften your eyes, face, and jaw like you're in Shavasana. Look down into your heart. Yeah. And breathe. Good. Maybe about the blanket. You're excused. Yeah, yeah. Okay, here. So. Yeah, you were excusing your blanket.
And I could feel, and there's sideways.
Funny here.
Well, I need a little more height right under my shoulders.
Yeah, well, you should have 3 blankets on top of that.
But that would entail going over there.
No,
That was the basic person, right?
and then you need more height on your hips. So lie down. And then lift your hips and then lower your hips. And then, yeah. And you might need to go a little further away from the edge if you're rolling off. You know, your shoulders might need to start that way.
Yeah, I generally end up needing to move a little one side,
Yeah,
get up.
so let's see, Amanda. So you want to come down, come down. You want your neck hanging off the blanket, it's not on. Don't look at Tony, she's got vertigo, okay? So come down all the way. You have to move your mat closer to the wall. Right, to the wall. Okay? You have to come all the way. Head is here. Neck is here. Yeah.
The neck is here.
The neck is not on the blanket, it's here. Shoulder is here. Okay? And this, you want to be able to roll your shoulders under. So head off the blanket. Okay. And don't worry about the ropes. You don't have, that doesn't want, that's not a good point.
Just
Oh, but you need to go to the left a little. You're not quite in the middle of your mat. So go, yeah,
here?
yes, that's good. Now, that's enough. That's enough. Now bend your knees and lift your hips. Like bridge, yes. Now bend your elbow. No, don't put your hands yet. Just stand like this, like we did in bridge. Take your arms down. Roll the outer edge of the upper hand. Lift the back ribs. Bring the shoulder that way. Shoulder like that. Yes, yes, yes. Now bring the hands back. Now that you've organized, bring your hands around here to get your elbows in. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Now stay there and breathe. Don't come up yet. Push your buttocks towards your face. Any amount. Walk your hands down towards your shoulder blades. Take the heels of the hands. Good. Now keep the buttocks forward. Keep the throat soft. Keep the jaws. Keep when you've had enough, you come out and rest into the Shavasana or stay with your legs up the wall. Stay there and breathe. Your leg has to go back more towards the wall and the buttocks up and towards your face. Yeah, keep moving your buttock. Yes. Now take the other leg. Keep your legs spread. Yes. Very good. Roll the thighs and lift your heels up. Flex your feet a bit more. Flex. Yes. Lift your inner heels up. Lift your legs up. Use your legs to lift your buttocks off your lower back. Keep your legs going up and back towards the rope wall. And move your buttocks forward and up off your arms. Yeah. Yes. This is the same thing in headstand, right? More or less. Except for the neck. Now when you're ready to come down, bend your knees one by one. Bring one foot to the wall. One foot. Other foot. Take your hands off your back. Good. Good. Let the begin. Okay, and then when you come out, you can take a few breaths. You can do a little, if you're in the shoulder stand, like in the middle of the room, scoot back a little. So you get your buttocks up on the blankets and shoulders off, scoot back that way. Just a little. And then rest, arms out to the side, palms up. Get back a teeny bit more to your arms more. Just a little baby fish. Yeah, just like that, that's it. Or bridge, you know, a little bit of rest after the shoulder stand. Keep your knees bent, you can bring your feet back. Yeah. And then when you feel rested, you can come out. Shavasana. And you can also, if you want to try this, Brianna, you turn around and bring your feet up on the blanket and Baddha Konasana. You can
Now,
have,
the daughters,
huh? Just turn around. Feet on the blanket. No, scoop back, body's more towards you, scoop, yeah, there, more. Yeah, now lie down. Lie down. Yeah, you don't have to be so close. Yeah, there you go. So you can lie down with your legs, bent, and then take bottom on us. Yeah, you don't have to be so close. Yeah. Easy. Yeah, so it's a little opener. Yeah, and then you can also do it with cross legs. After a few breaths, move your knees up. Cross your legs like you're sitting cross-legged, and then reach your legs out. Yeah, so it's a slightly different. You can do that on both sides. And after some time, you can just straighten your legs and come to Shavasana, just like a little part of your restorative closure, Relax your feet, man. Relax your toes, yeah. And let your hips roll to the rope wall. Yeah. Yes, just allow that to descend and let it. So your back is arching, yes, your lower back arch, no, not round, arch, yeah, dropping but it's neck. That's the part of it, but you turn your legs, don't do a lot of action, it's very gentle, it's very gentle. Right? And the inner rings, yeah, oh, yes, so you have arch here, this should be arching. Yes, right, and then you need buttocks closer, right, and you drop your belly level. Yeah, no, don't right in here, just stay with it. It's like bridge. No, don't go, yeah, just relax with that, but you don't have to overreact. It's there. This. Now. This up. This down. Down, buttocks down. Yes. You feel that? Yeah. Good. Yeah. That's what you need. You just recess. Yes, yeah. Feel that broad in the palm of the foot. Okay, so we'll be here 2 more minutes, so you can do whatever you need to do. Which might be nothing, but we're gonna rest for 2 more minutes. You can sit up if you want, just meditate. You want to move your breath and your awareness to all the parts. And take your time to slowly move your body up. Bend your limbs 1 to 1 and roll to your side for a couple of minutes. Make sure that when you come up, you let your head hang and you pull your belly in and use your front body instead of your back body. So coming from the side, right? So you don't just go right into over engaging the back body, which is meaningless. And then comfortably cross-legged, and when you sit here, also you cross-legged at the center of the shins, roll the front of the thighs in and broaden, not by pulling the flesh, but really turn the thighs, turn it right up by the groin, not the mid-thigh, the very top where it meets the hip socket. And you should feel a broadening in the pelvic floor
and a natural rolling forward towards the front edge of the sit bone. While the sacrum does not lift the torso effortlessly. Root the outer hips and thighs down and lift the sides of the body up as well. Outer hips, armpits, find out reverse feet in the armpits. Shoulder blades firm on the back, mid-back core engaged. Just that. Hips, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders, back of the neck. Okay, and we'll just chant together 1 Om and 3 Shanti to close. So if you'd like, you can take Anjali Mudra and lift the heart and press the thumbs to sternum to feel the vibration of the chant there in the heart center. Take a big breath in and out. And then inhale deeply to chant on. Once again, take a deeper breath, lifting the heart. As you exhale, release the head, choose the chest, and release the hands down to the thighs. So you're bowing your head once again to the heart. Soften the front of the throat and release the back of the neck, the base of the skull. And let the energy of the brain, eyes, and senses again settle in your heart center. And take a moment to dedicate the merits of your practice to anyone or anything that you would like. Keep that beautiful feeling in your heart as you raise your head up, keeping your eyes closed. Feel that warmth in your heart. And stay there. And with your eyes closed, soften and broaden and level your gaze. And keep your gaze coming from your heart center as you allow your eyelids to gently open. Enjoy this gorgeous fall day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to meet you, Annetta. Hope to see you again.
Yes, you too. What's your name again?
Anna, I own the studio. Yeah,
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you too. Okay, Morgie? Good?
Yeah.
See you Wednesday? Okay.
Okay, folks.
Wednesdays are more of the same, a little different, just FYI. I teach on Wednesday at 9:30, so. Have a good day, Morgie.